Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's wedding hid $1 million secret that no one knew about, until now. It sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood movie, but it was real. Have you ever wondered why, even after 25 years, people still dissect every tiny detail of that big day? Why could a wall of caviar, a song playing in the background, or even an undeveloped roll of film turn into a $1 million treasure? And more importantly, what made a private wedding become the event of the century, where millions of strangers felt entitled to know, to discuss, and to imagine? The 2000 wedding of Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt has come to feel like a classic reel from the celebrity world. At that time, the two weren't just famous actors, they were global icons. Brad Pitt, hailed as the sexiest man alive. Jennifer Aniston, the America's sweetheart from Friends. When their names came together in a romance, the public and the press instantly crowned them Hollywood's golden couple, the ultimate symbol of modern love. Their wedding, therefore, was never just a personal event. It was a symbolic moment, one that millions followed as if it were their own story. What made the event legendary, however, was the secrecy surrounding it. Photographer Robert Evans recalled being hired for what he was told was a corporate event. Only 2 days before the wedding did he learn it was for Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. That detail alone reveals the extraordinary lengths taken to secure privacy, a rare commodity in an industry where everything risks leaking. People often assume celebrities crave exposure, but when it comes to the most intimate milestones, they are forced to build fortresses of secrecy, just to prevent their special day from being consumed by the media. The paparazzi camped on Malibu Hills that day resembled a sci-fi movie scene. A wedding inside, surrounded by a siege outside, cameras poised for a single careless slip. And in a world before digital cameras, every roll of analog film was priceless. Evans even hired bodyguards to escort the film to the lab, a half-comic, half-dramatic image, but one that perfectly reflected Hollywood's reality. Information wasn't just power, it was money. A single exclusive shot could be worth millions. And in this case, there truly was a $1 million bounty for anyone who captured rare images of the golden couple on their wedding day. Even after 25 years, the story remains magnetic because it taps into a fundamental human instinct: curiosity about what's hidden. The more secretive something is, the more it fuels imagination. A wall of caviar? A Billy Preston performance? A lavish menu guests still reminisce about decades later? Seemingly trivial details became historical records in collective memory. People repeat them endlessly, and the public never tires of listening. It wasn't just about two stars in love, it was a fragment of global pop culture. Look deeper, and the wedding reflects more than a relationship. It marks a shift in media itself. The year 2000 was a transitional moment. The internet was growing, but social media hadn't yet taken over. Tabloids, glossy magazines, and paparazzi still held the power. In this context, celebrity weddings became information goldmines, sustaining an entire media ecosystem. The real question: who profited from public fascination with Brad and Jen? Not just fans, but tabloids, TV networks, advertisers, and brands tied to their names. The wedding was no longer a private celebration. It was a commercial product, a cultural spectacle packaged and sold to millions. And, strangely, even when the marriage ended less than perfectly, with the infamous Angelina Jolie love triangle, the public didn't look away. People might feel regret, judgment, or satisfaction, but above all, they kept watching. The Malibu wedding was more than a happy day. It became a lasting cultural asset. Like a classic film, every retelling reveals new details, new meanings. From a sociological perspective, it's a textbook example of a symbolic event, a private moment transformed into collective memory. Much like a royal wedding or a global festival, it ceased being just about two people and became a ritual the entire community participated in, each in their own way. Which raises the questions: does privacy truly exist when you are a global star? Do fans have the right to demand details simply because they buy your movie tickets, magazines, or see ads with your face? And perhaps most provocatively, do stars themselves turn into products when they allow weddings, a most personal milestone, to become a public performance? From an economic angle, the $1 million wedding also highlighted something else: extravagance as a statement of power. A wall of caviar, a live orchestra, a star-studded guest list. These were unspoken declarations that Brad and Jen weren't just actors, they were Hollywood royalty. For audiences, hearing these details was a way of peering into a luxurious world they could never touch, but could experience vicariously through the media. That mix of curiosity, admiration, and envy fueled an endless fascination with such weddings of the century. 25 years later, technology has transformed everything. Today, a celebrity wedding could be live-streamed, secretly filmed on a phone, or leaked online in seconds. Yet ironically, as access becomes easier, nostalgia for secret moments like Malibu only grows. Scarcity creates value. An analog film photo was worth millions not just because it was beautiful, but because it was rare, fiercely protected like treasure. Meanwhile, thousands of smartphone images today, however candid, vanish into forgetfulness. Brad and Jen's wedding remains a testament to a golden age of entertainment media, when every detail had the power to become legend. If Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's 2000 wedding was the glittering pinnacle of celebrity culture, then their 2005 breakup was its global shockwave. For Jennifer, it was more than the end of a relationship, it was a suffocatingly painful chapter. In countless moments of candor, particularly in Vanity Fair, she admitted that those years felt like a whirlwind of chaos, grappling with private heartbreak while standing under the relentless glare of cameras and public judgment. For people, it was entertainment. If they didn't have a TV show to watch, they had the tabloids, Jennifer once said. That short remark captured a bitter truth. Her private life had been turned into mass amusement. Each time she stepped outside, every look, every forced smile, even her tears were photographed, dissected, and exploited. To the public, she was the betrayed wife, the lead in a love triangle melodrama with Brad and Angelina. But to her, it was a tear in her private life. A wound that could not heal quickly because it was constantly reopened by thousands of headlines and millions of conversations. The moment those photos of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith surfaced, the world seemed to hold its breath. The public was both enthralled and outraged. Jennifer recalled, "The world was shocked, and so was I. If I said I wasn't angry, hurt, or embarrassed, I'd be a robot." She didn't sugarcoat her feelings. She spoke plainly, honestly, and that rawness only deepened the public's empathy. People saw in Jennifer not a goddess on screen, but an ordinary woman, vulnerable, fragile, and deeply human. And yet, paradoxically, her pain became fuel for the media machine. Every tear made a magazine cover. Every quote sparked 100 columns of analysis. The press didn't just report, it built a long-running, romantic tragedy. The public took sides. Some stood with Jennifer, the wronged woman. Others were enthralled by the new power couple, Brad and Angelina. But either way, audiences were consuming someone else's suffering, forgetting that behind it was a real person collapsing under the weight. Remarkably, even amid the storm, Jennifer held on to her grace. In a 2005 interview, she said, "I still respect and love him. I don't regret loving him. We had 7 intense years together, learning, experiencing, growing. It was a beautiful, complicated relationship." That wasn't just generosity toward Brad, it was Jennifer preserving her own dignity. Instead of retaliating, she chose to honor the past. That choice elevated her beyond the label of betrayed wife, transforming her into a symbol not only of heartbreak, but of resilience and humanity in the face of ruin. Still, the scars were real. She admitted to bouts of anxiety. "I never knew what they would make of my words, how they would twist them. I was genuinely nervous before every interview." The irony was striking. A star accustomed to cameras, once America's sweetheart on Friends, had come to fear the very press that was supposed to celebrate her. Fame, in some sense, had become a shackle, forcing her to weigh every word. From a sociological perspective, Jennifer became the embodiment of the appropriated symbol. The public wanted a Jennifer Aniston they could project onto their own narratives, victim, heroine, or emblem of strength. But the real Jennifer was far more complex. She didn't want to be forever branded the betrayed wife, nor did she want to be an unhappy icon, held up as cautionary tale. She simply wanted to be herself, a woman with joy and pain, triumphs and scars. This appropriation was most evident in 2016, when Brad and Angelina divorced. The internet flooded with memes, headlines, and triumphant posts. The tables have turned. The universe delivers justice for Jen. For many, it was poetic revenge. Yet Jennifer consistently refused to play along. She wasn't gleeful, didn't revel in others' misery. She simply carried on with her own life. That refusal was crucial. It proved she wouldn't let herself be trapped in the revenge narrative the media wanted. In time, her relationship with Brad mellowed into friendship. In 2019, he attended her 50th birthday party. In 2020, they were spotted holding hands backstage at the SAG Awards, a moment that set social media ablaze. Millions begged for a reunion. But Jennifer brushed it off. Brad and I are buddies. There's nothing strange about it, except maybe people like to fantasize. Her words once again underscored a simple truth. The public craves fairy tales, but real life doesn't have to conform. In reality, Jennifer moved on through other relationships, including her marriage to Justin Theroux, 2011 to 2017. She endured more struggles, periods of doubt, anxiety, even disillusionment. Yet looking back, Jennifer is not defined by being the abandoned woman of 2005. She stands as proof that a person can be broken, can fall apart, and still rise again, rebuilding, redefining, reclaiming peace. That is her true legacy. Not the million-dollar wedding photos, not the public heartbreak, but the journey of growth forged out of pain.